Alien Covenant hits theaters on May 19th, and fans couldn't be more psyched. Formerly known as Prometheus 2 and Alien Paradise Lost, this latest installment in the Alien saga continues the story set in motion by 2012's divisive Prometheus. Here's why we think this sci-fi horror flick is going to be a return to form for the Alien franchise and a big step forward from the last movie. Xenomorphs. While it may or may not be a traditional Alien movie, Alien Covenant has at least one thing that Prometheus didn't: Xenomorphs. Yeah, those guys. Like the poster for Alien Covenant that was released in March 2017, this trailer is crawling with aliens. We've seen a facehugger spring from an egg, a new barkbuster neomorph, and multiple shots of xenomorphs in familiar confines like spaceship hallways and creepy caves. There's even a stare down between a xenomorph and Danny McBride, with nothing but a spaceship windshield between them. What could that alien want? Hopefully this. H.R. Giger is all over it. Visual artist H.R. Giger is gone now, but as long as the Alien franchise exists, his ghost will haunt it. The guy was into some spooky occult stuff. You don't make a book like the Necronomicon and then peaceably surrender to death's cold embrace. You stick around and haunt stuff, starting with your very own museum in Switzerland, and continue with a whole bunch of Hollywood blockbusters. But back when Alien Covenant was still Prometheus 2, director Ridley Scott seemed intent on going in a new direction, stating publicly that the film wouldn't feature any xenomorphs at all. The beast is done. Cooked. Of course, we know that's not the case anymore. It's unclear what prompted the subsequent about-face, but maybe Scott realized that Giger's influence on Prometheus was actually its saving grace. Say what you want about the directing, writing, acting, and characters, that movie is at least visually dazzling. Giger's alien aesthetic, featuring things like slime, biomechanics, a metallic black and blue palette, and skeletal hinges, is an intrinsic part of the franchise. And from the looks of things, Scott and his team have realized it. Alien Covenant represents a step in the right direction with regards to honoring Giger's legacy and keeping his ghost happy. Bringing back body horror. As important as Giger's concept art and designs have always been, the Xenomorph also owes just as much to screenwriter Dan O'Bannon's original script. The alien's anatomical anomalies inspire real dread in the first Alien movie, and that's by design. As O'Bannon said in a 2002 retrospective, with Alien, I'm going to attack the audience. Like other great body horror movies, Alien exploits moviegoers' fears of being physically violated by using grotesque imagery and gore. Alien Covenant's trailer and other promo materials make prominent use of the series' strongest quality: its clever use of body horror tropes.
My body is ready.
The new crew. Did you ever wonder why a group of scientists would remove their helmets on an alien planet just because the air appeared to be breathable? You're not alone. As Forbes' review put it, the characters in Prometheus do ridiculously dumb things. When they see black alien ooze, they touch it. When they find a giant severed alien head, they bring it on the ship and perform inexplicable experiments on it. They're supposed to be scientists, yet they behave like idiots, so it's hard to care when they die. That said, Alien's crew had its fair share of bad decision-making, but it was always grounded in the crew's mutual experience of working for a big corporation that treated them as expendable. The bond they shared with each other was both professional and personal. The Nostromo's fate was horrific because audiences actually cared about the crew. By all appearances, Alien Covenant seems to correct one of Prometheus's biggest missteps: the aloofness of its crew of scientists and specialists, which made them hard to sympathize with. In the prologue Last Supper clip, the new crew lets loose and throws a party to celebrate being the first colonists on a mysterious planet. Recasting the main characters as colonists aligns it more closely with Scott's original film, and that's a good sign. Music to your ears. Composer Jerry Goldsmith and Lionel Newman's incredibly tense score set Alien apart from other horror movies, and if Alien Covenant seeks to recapture the feel of the first movie, it will need a comparable score. Fortunately, there's a good bet that Jed Kersell is up to the task. You might already know him as the lead singer of the band The Mess Hall. He knows how to create tension, and he's amassed a serious resume. He scored his brother Justin Kersell's 2011 psychological horror film Snowtown. Plus, say what you will about the rest of Assassin's Creed, but Kersell's epic score was undeniably solid. As the trailers for Alien Covenant show, Kersell lets the on-screen action influence the music, allowing for low ambient tones in dark tense sequences, stretches of silence during conversations, and a sweeping anthemic accompaniment for the action horror set pieces. Practical effects. Ridley Scott is known for having a healthy distrust of CGI effects. What does that mean for Alien Covenant? More of the classic creature feature practical effects that made the first two films in the series so frightening. To horror fans who can't help but laugh at CGI monsters, this is welcome news. Ridley Scott knows what he's doing. We're confident that Ridley Scott will do right by fans of Alien and fans of Prometheus. There's a lot riding on Alien Covenant. If it hits the sweet spot in terms of box office grosses, Scott's promised as many as half a dozen more Alien movies. As James Cameron put it, even not-so-great Ridley Scott films are worth seeing because he is such an artist. Put simply, even a mediocre Ridley Scott movie is still at least intermittently compelling, and we don't expect that to change anytime soon. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Covenant is the return to form we're all hoping for. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.